Today we're going to tie a fly called a Matuka. It's a streamer pattern that originated in New Zealand and was originally tied with feathers from a native bird called a bittern. We're going to start out by wrapping the shank of the hook with thread to form a base. Then we're going to add some tinsel which will form ribbing over the feather, and then add some chenille. Begin by tying in your tinsel. Lay it along the back of the hook. That way your body will have a more even appearance. Once you've tied it in, add a couple half inches at the back to keep the tinsel in place. Next you're going to add your chenille. Select the length of chenille. That's going to be more than adequate to be able to wrap the length of the hook. Wrap the chenille to the back of the hook, and again add a couple half inches to secure it at the same point just forward of the bend of the hook. Next, you're going to wrap your chenille forward. Before you do that, wrap your thread forward and put a half inch in it. After a couple wraps, put a half inch over the end of the material, clip it off. Take your hackle feathers from either a hen neck or rooster body feathers. Lay them along the back of the fly. Once you've marked an area where the feathers extend about 3/4 the length of the shank of the hook, trim off the excess in the front with the scissors. Once you've trimmed the front of your feathers, now it's time to pick the location on the back underneath where you're going to strip off the barbules on the lower end of the feathers. So hold the feathers, and then with a bodkin or a scissors, make a small separation so you can figure out where you're going to strip those feathers off. After feathers are tied in, now is the time to be able to run the tinsel, your gold oval tinsel, up through the feathers to secure them on the back of the fly. Align your feathers carefully so that your tips are matched on the back. Take your gold tinsel and, wrapping away from you, gently separate the feathers so that your first wrap is near the bend of the hook. That's going to hold your fly tail down. Next, slowly separate the feathers as you move forward, wrapping through the barbules each time carefully and in a clear, consistent method. Take 1 or 2 hackle feathers from the same neck that you took your tail feathers from. Tie them in at the front and wrap them as you would any other soft hackle. After tying in the soft hackle, adjust the feathers, Build a small head up in the front. Then you can whip finish it off, smooth the fly down, and finish the fly. If necessary, add an additional hackle feather to more fully form the soft hackle at the front of the fly. You can tie them in singularly and wrap them in additionally over the rest of the hackle to add for a fuller effect. The finished fly, once it's tied off and all the soft hackle has been carefully whip finished, can be adjusted and your fly is ready to fish.